Hey everybody, what's up? Day 19. Here I am. Back again. Just got out of sales meetings all day at the office. Heading home, gonna have some dinner. Got a client I gotta go see the late night tonight. He's only available on Friday nights from like 7 to 10, so I make the long 43-mile ride out to see him. So I'm going to see him tonight. Probably might have mentioned before, I don't remember. But so listen, I want to talk about like boxing out negativity today. You know, we talked a lot about this today in the sales meetings about how like you can't let negative customers impact you. You have to, you know, and this goes with anything in life, really. It's not just about sales and customers, but it goes with anything, you know. If negative people start to bother you, you got to block that out, and you got to, you know, you got to look for the next positive thing that's going to happen. You know, in sales, we always say every no is your next step toward a yes. You know, every no is just another no that you get out of the way, because eventually a yes is coming along in the pattern. And it's true. And, you know, today we looked at the clip from Tommy Boy, which Mitch from Nerdy Thursday had sent over to me last night. Nerdy Thursday on iTunes. If you haven't checked them out fucking by now, you better. Great little podcast over there. Anyhow, he sent it over to me last night. We were talking about in sales and stuff, and how, you know, the Tommy Boy clip where he wants the chicken wings, and he talks the lady into it and all that. And then afterwards, David Spade's like, it's because you got comfortable and you did this and that. So today we kind of talked about that. We actually showed the clip during the one of the meetings today, and talked about it and said, you know, it's true. Like, you got to get in your comfort zone. You can't let people make you uncomfortable. And negative people tend to come with discomfort. So it's funny because in the past like 20 minutes, I've had 3 people that have all been negative toward me, and you know, I know, you know, most of you people out there, by the time you get around to watching this video or whatever, you don't know me. You don't know me from a fucking hole in the wall. But I'm a pretty well-rounded guy. In sales, I'm pretty good at building relationships and getting to know people and yada, yada, yada. So I got this one account. It's this little fucking tiny shithole bar in this little town. And every time my driver goes to drop off an order, they complain about me, which really is mind-blowing. Like, this guy's never around. I go to try to see him. I always make sure I chase him in circles to find him when he has a check due, so he doesn't get in trouble with the state, because when liquor, if you don't pay, you get fucking posted, and then nobody can deliver to you and all that shit. And like, they're bitching like, oh yeah, the fucking sales manager comes in here and he's always demanding a check. No, bitch, I'm fucking stopping you from getting in trouble with the liquor board so that you can continue to get liquor from other people. What are you talking about? You know, and besides the fact that I hunt you down in 4 visits to find you to pick up that fucking check, because you're never around anyway to put an order in. He calls the orders in the office. He never calls me back. He's not there to do presentations. He told me, oh, I'm here at this time, this time, this time. He's never around. I'm sure he's around, but he's not around the times he told me to be around. And I can't be there at nighttime every night when he's there or whatever, because I have other customers to see, and I have a family, I have other shit to do. I try to fit him into my schedule. I stop in to see him. If he's not there, he's not there. It's a small account that orders every 2 or 3 months. I can't make it a 5-stop-a-week account. That doesn't make any sense. So I was like, you know, that kind of sucks, because I'm not that guy. Never rude. I always try to keep my voice down when I'm in there talking to anybody about business or personal things or whatever, because it's none of the customer's business. And they make it sound like I'm in there with a fucking machete banging on the bar screaming, I need a fucking check. But so as that happened, and then I've got a stepbrother. He's a half brother, and him and I always got along really good for years. I loved the kid. I had a lot of hope for him that he would, you know, turn out good in life. Everybody told me when I moved up here, he's fucking worthless. He can't hold a fucking job. You know, he's got an attitude problem. He doesn't give a fuck about anybody. And I was the one that saw something in this kid. I was the one who said, you know what? No, I'm gonna try to get him a job. You know, I'm good to him. He's good to me. I get him a job, and the fucking kid starts shitting on me. He's worked with me now for over a fucking year. He doesn't even speak to me anymore. My own brother doesn't even talk to me anymore, because he's too good for me. So I guess I should have listened to everybody. At least I would still have a brother who would talk to me. But now that I got him a job, that's what happens. He fucks up every job he has, and then he tries to blame me when the boss comes down on him at work. Which I don't even get. I'm a manager where we work. If my boss came to me and said, you know, fucking, this is what happened with him or whatever, you know, I could, you know, my boss always says to me, hey, this happened, but you're, you know, like, where you disrespected me at work or whatever. And he's like, you're a manager, so he can't be doing that shit. And I'm always like, whatever, man, he's my brother, just ignore it, you know. So today I put my samples in, I asked for a certain product, and there's 2 different kinds you can get. Well, we always take one kind out. Nobody takes the other kind out in the market. It's just one kind. It's either peppermint or cinnamon. Everybody brings the peppermint out. That's the popular one. That's the one you make placements on. The cinnamon just kind of an afterthought. So I just write the name of the brand down, Defrost, and I forget to put peppermint next to it. He fucking blacks it out off my sample sheet and writes next to it, "I'm not a mind reader." I wrote underneath it, "No, you're a fucking douchebag." But then I gave him back the other paper because there's 2 copies. I gave him the other copy because I was like, I'm not going to be that guy. And then I was just like, man, fucking, the driver comes back saying the account's bitching about me and my brother's being a dick. And he's been a dick for a while, but he hasn't pulled a dick move in a while. So all of a sudden that hit me. And then a buddy of mine calls me and he's like, I was talking to so-and-so. And I was like, oh yeah, I was talking to Tony. And he's like, fuck that guy. He never calls me back. I tried calling him and you don't call me back. Well, listen, asshole. Get your fucking life in order, number 1. Number 2, when you call me, why don't you leave me a fucking voicemail? Because I never get those. So I don't go through my missed calls and call people back. If you don't leave me a voicemail, you don't get a fucking call back. Period. The only people who get calls back from me, if they don't leave a voicemail, are my employees during the daytime. Because if I see my employee called and I don't answer the call, it's because I'm taking care of a customer or something like that. Otherwise, if my phone's down, I might not even see that you called if you're my employee. If I pick up my phone and there's 6 missed calls, I'm not going through them. Looking at the voicemails, anybody else will probably call you back because you know how many 800 numbers, bullshit, everything else with business and everything else, call my phone, and if you don't, trying to sell me shit or whatever, I ain't got time to be going through everything, And this guy, fucking, he's the one that everybody's fucking trying to avoid. Because he's the one who's got himself wrapped up in drugs and everything else, and he fucking can't get his life in order. And I've been friends with this guy for 36 years. I love him to death. 37 years. He's like a brother to me. And I really mean that. But don't go complaining to me when suddenly you want to talk, and you haven't reached out to anybody in months. I stopped reaching out to him because every time I made plans with him, the motherfucker never shows up. He's the guy who makes plans constantly and then calls you the day of and says, my girlfriend's sick, or I'm not feeling well. It's constant. It's because he needs to go for a ride to go fucking try to score drugs, or he's high or something, or whatever his excuse may be. Maybe sometimes he is sick. Maybe sometimes she is sick. But it happens every fucking time. Every time. It's crazy. I love this guy. I really do. But he needs to fucking, you're never there for anybody, buddy. If you're watching this, you're going to know who I'm talking about. You need to get yourself fucking straight. You can't be fucking blaming other people for not getting back to you when you can't even get your own life in order. That's crazy. Anyhow, I took these 3 negative things and I realized I'm going to turn them into a positive. I'm going to take all 3 of these negative morons and I'm going to make a video about it, and I'm going to tell everybody, here's a positive thing. We'll make a lesson out of it, So yeah. They bother me, but everything like that bothers me. But it bothers me only for a couple minutes, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I don't have time for this shit. That guy, that customer, I don't have time for him. I really don't. Now, I'm never going to have time for him. Now, he can call his orders in, and he can pay for them when they come. When there's a check due, I'm not fucking picking it up. Not going to go chasing you down, buddy. This is the way you want things, this is the way it'll be. And to my brother, who just stopped talking to me for no reason a year ago, I've had 4 days from now, I'll have been in my new house that I bought for a year. My twins are 15 months old yesterday. My brother came to my house right after the twins were born and stood across the room looking at him, fucking all meek, like, giggling, like, I don't want to touch him. He's one of these people who thinks like babies fucking get you sick or something, I don't know. And that was it. Like the next week he stopped talking to me. It's been like 14 months since he's talked to me. My fucking children are all growing up. My oldest kids, my 11-year-old, my 8-year-old, they moved back up here. We want to spend time with Uncle Matt. Well, Uncle Matt don't give a fuck, apparently. He don't give a fuck about you or me or anybody else. It's not what I tell my kids, but it's the way, he doesn't give a fuck if he gets to know his nephews or not. My kids will love him. Because when we first moved up here, they'd go out and play tag with him in the yard, and they thought he was cool and everything else. Now he don't come around. Now he hates me. He never has told me why, but he hates me. He don't want to talk to me, so fuck him. Definitely not. That guy doesn't bother me. Of the 3, that one bothered me the least because it's just whatever. And then my buddy, man, you've known for a long time that you've got problems. And you deny it, and when people would ask you about your problems, you just go, no. Well, we all know. Everyone knows. You're like any other drug addict. You deny, and assume that everyone's going to believe you when you say that you're sober and you're not doing drugs anymore. Well, get your fucking life in order, bro. Straighten yourself out. You, of all people, need to find your inner Gabe. And when you do, you need to go back to being that guy. I'm serious. You were the guy that I looked up to when I was a kid. You were strong, you were athletic, you were charismatic. All the things everybody wants. All the things I want out of my children. You had all those great qualities. And now you're the guy that ducks everybody, that can't remember what he told somebody from one time to the next. You just don't get it, man. Go back to being the person you were. Find those great qualities in yourself again, man. Get off the drugs, bro. Get off the booze. Because you're a drunk, too. I love you, brother. I hope you see this video someday. And by then, I hope you're sober. And I hope you don't get mad about these comments. And if you do, well, I'm sorry, but it's the truth. I'm going to be the Gabe, bro. I want you to be the Gabe, too. And the rest of you people watching, how about you? Do you want to be the Gabe?